Nick speaking, and welcome to this live stream. Potentially the last live stream with me actually finishing these Annihilation Barges that I'm painting. We will see. That's the plan anyway. So yes, hello everyone, and I'm live streaming again. That's a different time of the day, so hopefully a few different people might be able to join the stream. It is currently 11:30, so yeah. I have been a bit busy today, to be fair. I went to the opticians this morning after doing the school run, and I've got until around 2:30 before I have to do the school run again. So yeah. Hello Jar, how you doing? Sneaky live stream? Absolutely, absolutely. I'm trying to get these finished. Today is the last day. My fiance comes back tomorrow, so I'm hoping to get these finished, but we'll see how it goes. Right, let me get to my usual view. I've literally just had lunch. I bolted it down, to be fair, because I set the live stream at 11:30 and realised what time it was. So I had to eat it quite quickly. But I do have my coffee, of course. So, all I've got left to do is the gold. There's a bit of white to do on some of the masks, and the blacking in. Also painting the bases. Now I've just literally been outside spraying my flying bases, and also the rocks which are going to go on top, just to make the painting a bit easier. I still need to go over them with black, but it's obviously less work to do. And I use these little paintbrush toppers which go on here, and I put some sellotape over the top to keep obviously the flying stems clear, so that's pretty useful. And I use those also when I varnish the bases as well. So let's put those aside. I've just changed my water. I've got fresh water, however I haven't changed paper on the wet palette. I haven't got much space left, so just see how I get on. I might have to change the paper. Hello Gordon, how you doing? We are almost there. My body is ready. Alright, let's get this magnifying light on, although I don't necessarily need it for this section. I'm going to start off just by doing the bases so that they can just dry up. So we're going to need some black paint. So yeah, successful trip to the opticians today. It's only the third time I've been, so it's just an age thing really. As I've got older, obviously my eyesight, particularly for reading, has got worse. So the first time I went about 5 years ago, I got some reading only glasses, and then my sort of normal sight was starting to go a little bit. It's not like major. I was told that I could still legally drive, but obviously they were going a bit. Excuse me. So I got some varifocals, which are these ones I'm wearing now, and then of course I went back today as well. So where's that paintbrush gone? Which one should we use? This one, I think. So yeah, I went back today and did all the tests. You know, the air test. Apparently my air test came out like perfect results. The pictures of my eyes, everything was all fantastic. You know, nothing wrong whatsoever. So it's literally just old age with the lenses getting harder, not bending so much. So my normal vision hasn't changed, but my close-up vision has changed very slightly. So yeah, I've got some new glasses coming. Going to be about 2 weeks before I get them. Yeah, I mean, not a major change, but definitely changed. I think I need some water with this. I'm at work. Jar is at work, but I have to take care of my work. I just wanted to say hello and wish you a lot of fun. Thank you, Jar. I appreciate you just popping in. I really do like seeing you in the stream because you're always there. We have Abrixis, and he says hello. I hope you're well. I am very well, thank you. And I am actually going to use my magnifying glass because painting black on black, it's quite difficult to see. So yeah, first of all I'm just going to paint this black, and as usual some of the loose stones come off, but that's fine. My basing is pretty simple, just basically black, and then I dry brush it with Dawnstone grey. That's the letterbox going. That sounds like the door going. Must be next door. Unless I have an unexpected visitor. But I'm reliably told that she's coming back tomorrow. So my fiancée has been in Cannes to celebrate her mum's birthday. Went on like a little girly trip. Hence all the live streams. I'm hoping to finish this in this stream, or these. I'm painting 2 Annihilation Barges. I'm hoping to finish them in the stream today, so that tonight I can just chill out. Oh, I was so tired this morning. Obviously I did that late night live stream. I think I finished about 1. By the time I got ready for bed and everything, got into bed, watched a bit of YouTube and stuff. I went to sleep about 2, and then my alarm went off at 6:30. I did manage to lie in till about 7:30. But yeah, it's feeling pretty tired. It's that one. With this weather, that shouldn't take too long to dry. So if you haven't been watching any of my streams, I've been chatting about various things, but obviously we are currently waiting for the Necron index cards, which I believe are coming tomorrow. However, I'm going to have a house full of people in the apartment because it's my fiance's birthday weekend. So I'm not going to be able to make videos for a little while, a few days probably, but they will come, the videos will come. So to keep me entertained and to keep you entertained, I downloaded 100 questions that you would ask your friends, and I've been answering those in the stream just so you can maybe just get to know me a little bit better. We are currently on question 59, so yeah, we're just over halfway through the questions, so we'll continue to answer those questions in this stream. Right, let those dry. I've got these rocks which I have primed, but it's sort of, there's a few misses on there. However, I do need some more paint. My eyesight is my job. If it goes, I'm gonna I've got this problem with the chat, right? I've got this, I don't know if you've got it on your side or not, but my side, I've got this like love heart right on the line where the chat is. You hover over it and we get all different emojis, and you press on one of them. I press on this one at 100. I get like a floating 100 in the chat box, but it's annoying because I can't read the comment until somebody else comments and it goes up. That's the new black paint. We want the old black paint. This tiny little space. Water. Okay. They are due tomorrow, and I'm expecting lots of moaning on social media. This is less powerful, that doesn't have toughness or wounds, nothing matters until we know points, FAQ, and actually play. Yeah, and it does seem, from what I've seen, in most cases, everything has been toned down. And you have to remember that this is just index release. It's just the release to flatten the playing field, to level the playing field. And as the codex comes out, then you'll get your full sets of rules. So yeah, I'm not expecting anything too amazing and drastic. Imitate the Stormlord, I mean, pretty mediocre, let's face it. But there's lots of other intricate rules which are coming, which we just don't know about, so we will just have to wait and see. I'm going to get messy here, I think, with my fingers. So yeah, get these blacked in, and then I'll do the black on some of the pieces I've got there on the units, and then these rocks will need painting, the next two colour greens, and then the gold. Sounds like a lot, but I'm hoping the time that I've got, which is approximately 3 hours, should be enough to finish. We'll see though, we will see. Got to paint one side of these rocks and then paint the other side. I might have to skip off and wash my fingers quick. Another beautiful day, not quite as muggy as it was yesterday I don't think, but it's still beautiful. Right. New Necron models for 10th. When the codex comes out we're getting at least one new model. Biggest suspicions are either a new character, potentially Locust destroyers, potentially a new Catan. Right, I'm going to very quickly wash my fingers because I've got to pick up those and I don't want to get black all over them. I'll be back in literally 30 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Right, let's go to these here. So I've got my original ones which I've already painted, of course. So I didn't do that with finger, that's okay. So I've got to do the grooves of those 4 front spines and the grooves on the top spines. And that's it. So let's get that done. This is literally just a case of going in with the black paint in the groove. Let's use this 0 brush, see how we get on with that. That's Richard messaging me. As always, when I'm live streaming, he messages. I'm watching, but as I'm in hospital getting my poison, I can't comment. No problem, Richard. Thank you. So Richard is listening. Basically, he's telling me don't say anything bad about him because he's listening. What are you drinking this morning? I'm drinking coffee. I am drinking coffee. Millicano. Right, here we go. Interested to see who can attach to what units and what their buffs will be though. 20-man warriors with an Overlord, Warden, Mancer. Yeah, it's going to be interesting just to see how it all pans out. This is quite a simple thing just to paint into these big recesses. I don't do every recess, just the big ones. It just adds a little bit more of a contrast to the silver. So yeah, I got some new glasses coming. I wanted black ones like these, but I wanted these ones actually because I quite like these glasses. But the issue that I had, they said they could have redone the optics in these, but I would be out with my glasses for 2 weeks, and obviously that definitely can't happen. So I had to get new frames. It's like they're blue, but they're not like bright blue. They're like a blue black. And like I think from a distance you probably wouldn't even be able to tell they're blue. They'll just look black and more of like a matte finish. But yeah, I spent quite a bit of money today. The frames were 100. The varifocal glass was 190, and the eye test was 25. I know there are sort of cheaper places where you can get your glasses done. I go to Vision Express, but I've always had fantastic service from them, the times that I have been, and I trust them, so I think that's very important. And like I said, well, maybe I could get it a bit cheaper somewhere else. Trust is a big thing, especially when it comes to eyes, because I don't like anything happening to my eyes. I had to take eye drops once, and that was horrible. That was just eye drops. My auntie's had to have an injection in her eye recently because she had eye problems. It's like an injection in my eye. I don't know. I almost would rather go blind than have that done. So I was very pleased when he said to me that my eyes are looking tip-top condition, no issues. Okay, that's the top done, and I'll go to the bottom. We have alias 2002. Hello, I'm new to Necrons and the hobby in general. Welcome. I've found that your videos are a huge help for someone like me. Thank you, and your hard work. You're welcome. I'm really happy that the videos, if I can get the paintbrush in my mouth, that the videos are useful, because that is really good to hear. You chose a good hobby and you chose a good army to play. I am slightly disappointed. I totally admit that I'm not going to be in a position to make videos straight away once the index cards come out, but I just can't help it. So it's just one of those things. I'm just going to have to deal with it, accept it, and just be late to the party. So let's have a look at some of these questions that I've got left to answer. Some of them are a bit unusual, but there you go. What was your favourite toy as a kid? I had quite a few favourite toys. I don't think I necessarily can pinpoint one, but I'll tell you about a few of the toys that I used to love. I used to like, well, obviously, first up, Star Wars, of course. I was born in 72, Star Wars came out in 77, so I was 5, and yeah, Star Wars Mania, I was there. So of course I had all the action figures and played with those a lot. So when I was really young it was all about Star Wars, and then as I got older I got into Action Man. I was very lucky with Action Man because there was a neighbour down the road whose son had a huge amount of Action Man stuff, like not just one doll. He had like everything. He had the horse, you know, he had like the police uniform and just loads of stuff. And obviously he grew out of it and he sold the whole lot, or the family sold the whole lot to my parents. So I had this huge amount of Action Man stuff. But I was also into Action Force, which was basically like the Star Wars figures, but like army people. And I always remember we had this like balcony that went from upstairs to downstairs, and I had this rope or string, and I used to position the hands on the string and like slide them down, going on special missions. And of course I was around when Space Invaders came out. So when we ever went to the fun fair, Space Invaders, that was my favourite game. I always remember we went to the arcades. My mum and dad went off playing the bingo, and they gave me £1 to spend in the arcades. Now bearing in mind that this was like years and years ago, like £1 was, I don't know what it's worth today, like at least £5 if not more. And it was 10p a go to play this Space Invader game. And what did I do? I stood on there, put all my money in, played in for Space Invaders with the whole of the money, and my mum was furious. You're spending all that on just that one thing. But the point to that is, I had one of those little Atari little games, like an electronic game. It's very, very basic. You had your spaceship at the bottom. You had 3 squares. You moved 1, 2, 3, and then obviously the aliens come down shooting, and you had to like shoot them, and it got faster and faster. It was like, but it was really cool because it was like in the shape of a mini arcade game, and only had one game on there. You know, just like silly sounds like bing, 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 and that was it. So, but I loved that game. So that's another game that I really liked. Now I still need to do the house tidy. Originally I was going to do the house tidy and then go live, but I knew I wouldn't have enough time to finish. I mean, I'm not 100% convinced I'm going to have enough time to finish now, which meant that I'd have to go live again tonight, and I was sort of hoping to have a break from it. So I was thinking, right, just go live early, try to get this done, and then you can do the tidying up after you've picked Necron girl up from school, and then I'll have the evening to myself. Plus I was incredibly tired this morning when I woke up after last night's stream and early morning, etc. Right, just this side, and then this is that one done. Now, did I paint underneath? Oh yeah, I painted in those bits. Okay, so I've got a little bit more to do. Didn't notice that before. Can be hard to judge how long things take, can't it, sometimes? And there's always things you think, oh yeah, I forgot to do that, or I didn't do that bit, or oh yeah, I've still got to do that bit. Alright, another question then. Who's your celebrity crush? I don't have a new celebrity crush. In other words, this is someone that I've really liked for quite some time, and it is Liz Hurley, especially in the Austin Powers movies, and of course Bedazzled. Yeah, she's my type of girl. She's hot, and I really like her accents as well. She's got quite a well-spoken accent, which I really like. I must admit, I am attracted to posh birds. Let's see what type of comment I get after saying that. Okay, cool. One. No, one done. I just want to have a look inside the jet engines to see what I did. They're all black inside there. You can't really see, but I did do them black before, so maybe I should this time. So let's just quickly get some black paint inside here. One. Two. No one's going to look inside these jet engines, but I might one day. All I've done is made this harder work for me today by painting inside of these 10 years ago. Right, now we're done. One. Hello Peter, how you doing? I get the accounts thing. Joanna Lumley's voice give me goosebumps. Oh, the accent, not account. Why did I say account? Audrey Plaza. Yes, she's the girl that was in the Lotus Flower, the hotel one, right? She was nice. Joanna used to be the voice for email provider You've Got Mail. Oh, really? I did not know that. Right, let's get this other one done. And we've got another question. We have, but it's on a different page, so let's do some painting and then I'll turn the page over, because seriously, I've got to paint. I have to paint, otherwise it's just not going to get done. I mean, I don't have to get these done by the time she comes back. It's just that I would like to, because I'm going to be concentrating obviously on the index cards. I don't currently have any videos for next week apart from a short, so Monday will be a short video more than likely. Really busy weekend with the birthday bash, and then Wednesday, which is my next day off, after the birthday weekend, I've got to go to Bristol for a managers meeting for work. So that's another day off which has been scuppered. Right, let's do this side and then I'll change those questions over. See how many of these 50 questions I've got left I can get through. Right, let's change my questions. We currently have 7 people watching. Thank you. I know it's a funny time of the day for a lot of people, but this is when I have time to do my hobbies, so there you go. What's one side hustle idea you'd love to start? A side hustle? I need to wash that. I'm not really into hustling. I suppose the YouTube channel is the side hustle, isn't it? Right, it's upside down. What's your favourite season and why? I think it's got to be the summer, although I don't mind the winter. They both have advantages and disadvantages. Obviously the winter is great for hobby because you're inside most of the time. There's no like weekend events to go to. Do you know what I mean? In the summer there's like a lot more stuff going on, more commitments that will take you away from doing some hobby. But of course on the flip side that's nice, you know, it's nice to have that time as well doing that other stuff. My least favourite is spring. I'm not a fan of spring. I know it's a lot of people's favourite time of year, but I don't like it. I like it either hot or cold, not in between, where you wake up in the morning and it's freezing cold, you put loads of clothes on, and then by the time the afternoon comes it's boiling hot. I'm like when I get my shorts on, that's it. So I'll wait during the spring until it starts to get hot, and then once my shorts come out they don't go back until it starts to get cold. So even if it started raining tomorrow I'd still be wearing shorts. Don't think I got it on my clothes. What book have you read that's made a serious impact on your life? I'm not really a book reader, except when I do read a book I like reading Star Trek novels, but they don't really have an impact on my life. Can I just say the Necron Codex? Is that a good answer? I think that's a good answer. This brush is starting to splay a bit. It's getting a bit old. One side. I have a large garden, so spring is the best. Ah, fair play. We've got a very nice balcony overlooking the marina, which is very nice to sit on. Sometimes it's too hot to sit out there though. I'll get your comment in a minute about Imatech. Just going to finish up these. Okay, one side, one side. Now it's just that underneath piece. Where did you find the leak data card of Imatech? Okay, it was a screenshot from a Warhammer community video. I think it was like one of those videos that they post where it says like upcoming next week. I didn't see the video, but obviously I managed to get hold of the data card from I think it was Facebook or somewhere. But yeah, it was. It wasn't like a leak or anything. It was actually on the Games Workshop sharing. And of course, that's only one half of that data card, because it seems like most entries seem to have 2 data cards for some reason, which is a bit weird. At first, I thought it was like one was combat patrol rules and one was like their normal rules, but it doesn't seem that way. Right, let's do the inside of the jet engines, and that's that one done. Do you believe in freedom of speech? Yeah, of course. Everyone should be able to say what they want to say. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, I suppose, as long as it's not taken too far, you know, where things happen that affect other people. What I mean is like demonstrators and things. You know, like at the World Championship snooker, they had one of those say no to oil people who went onto the table and like opened this bag of like orange powder paint stuff all over the table, ruined everyone's evening. I don't agree with that, but people should be able to say what they want to say, as long as they're willing to not fight for it, but stand accountable for it. You know, you've got to stand accountable. Doing it behind a keyboard where no one knows who you are, that's not right. But if you're willing to say, yeah, that was me, you know, I think that, and this is why I think that. Getting more political. Obviously we had some killings in Nottingham yesterday. Not nice. So much going on though, isn't there? What about all those children that were stabbed in France as well? It's just, why? Okay. And whilst I've got this paintbrush out, this big one, I'm going to go back to the bases and just check they're okay. Always look like from an angle, because sometimes where there's like rocks and sand, sometimes the paint sort of misses. This is looking pretty decent, but there's still one or two misses. And I'm going to paint underneath, although I've done the base coat, I just want to give that one more like proper paint. Just think it looks nicer. Plus, sometimes where the sand has like see-through bits, you can actually see through the base. It's all these little finishing touches which can take a model to the next level. It's not necessarily about like how well it's painted sometimes, it's about how neat and how precise you are, you know, stuff that isn't sort of detracted from your eye. Get this done because that means that this big paintbrush is then finished with for now. Okay, that's that one. Oh, I need to do the other side of the rocks, don't I? Yeah, just wash the paintbrush. Oh well. Let's do the other side of these. Oh no, I've got tissue stuck on it. It's alright, it will come off. Didn't really think about that when I put it on the tissue. Put it down there this time. That one's okay. That one, there's two more. That one, and the last one. There. I am going to have to pop off quickly and clean my fingers again. That one there. There we go. Right. Good morning from the USA. Hello, friendly neighbourhood inquisitor. How you doing? We have Tom stroke Chris. What's being painted? I am painting 2 Annihilation Barges. There's 4 in the box. 2 I've already painted, my old ones, which I'm matching these new ones into. So I'm going to quickly wash my fingers. Won't be a second. About 30 seconds probably. I'm back, and I'm harder than a heart attack. Right, so we're going to continue blacking in. Let's go to the next thing. So none of that needs it. There's this front piece here, which I will do. That side. I picked up a bigger brush. That was a bit weird. It must be early in the USA. Yeah, it must be. What are we betting are going to be our go-to units in 10th? My money currently is on Tomb Blades, Tesla Tomb Blades, Tesla Immortals, Doom Stalkers, Triarch Stalkers, and what else was it? I think that was it. Those are my like go-to units. Right, one side done. That doesn't need to be done. I've got like a little pile of bits and pieces. Now let me check the gun underneath. That's all fine. That thing on the top, that's fine. So none of that needs to be done. Yeah, where I am in the US, it's currently 7:20 AM. Wow, good morning. Good morning. That's the good thing about going live like at different times during the day. Like yesterday I went live at I think it was like 10:30 in the evening. Today like 11:30 in the afternoon. So hopefully, yeah, like at least it gives a few more people that wouldn't normally be able to join a stream a chance to join in. So that's always good. So I'm currently answering 100 questions that you would ask a friend. So let's have a quick look at the next question on that list. What's the first thing you do after waking up in the morning? I usually go to the toilet first. I also take out I've got like a tooth guard because I grind my teeth. So yeah, take that out, go to the loo, and then I go to the kitchen. I make sandwiches. Oh no, first before I make the bed, then I make sandwiches. And then I make a cup of coffee, and then I chill out on the laptop, usually on YouTube, you know, doing comments and stuff. In the meantime, continuously wake Necron girl up, and then leave for the school run. Bear with me, I'm just taking all the pieces away that I don't have to do any work on. So I have to work on that, I have to work on that, to work on that, and I have to work on that. Okay. Where there should be another Tesla. There it is. Right, let's work on these Tesla guns then. So I've got my original one, which I'm matching them into. Out of that list, I only have a Triarch Stalker. 9:20 PM in Tasmania. Wow, Tasmania, cool. Good day, mate. Right. Where's that original? This is the original, right. So for some reason I painted all of that round there, and around there and around there. Okay, that's doable. Let's do this slightly bigger brush, I think. I just remembered that after I do this black, then I've got to dry brush highlight the black as well. That's quick though, that's quick and simple. Obviously I'm not going to rush anything, I'm going to give everything due care and attention. I'm scared we don't know the stats of the Silent King yet. Yeah, well maybe they're saving that. Will it be a Silent King edition? You know, because every edition, GW, you know, they change things, don't they? Make some things good that primarily they want to sell, and other things that have had a good running and they don't really need to sell any more miniatures. And the rules, you know, not quite as good, are they? It's quite a delicate little thing that I'm doing here, so I'm trying to concentrate as much as I can. Right, so that's that section done on that gun. Let that one dry, do the other one. Are you afraid it's going to be too weak or too powerful? Yeah, because even though obviously it's our army and we want stuff to be good, we don't want it to be too powerful. A, because if it is too powerful, you know it's going to be nerfed anyway. And sometimes that can be to an extreme. But also, if something's too powerful, it means that army lists become all the same. You just want to have a fighting chance on the table. You want it to be, you know, comparable. And of course points comes into it hugely. You know, even though, yeah, it's all about the rules, it's like sometimes the rules are like irrelevant in some ways. You can have really good rules, but if the model is just overcosted, it limits you on what you can take. Messed up a bit there, it's okay. Just took the paint off. finish this piece and I will go to another question. If you do have any questions to ask me, then yeah, ask me in the comments. Failing that, I've got a huge list of questions you would ask your friend to answer, just for fun. Right, let that dry. Both, haha. Yeah, exactly. You don't want it too powerful, you don't want it too weak, do you? Like I said, you want it like just playable, you know, playable. An option to play if you want to play. Okay, let's have a look at this Gauss weapon. So this is basically all black, apart from the two inside grooves, which as yet I haven't painted silver. So I think I need to paint them silver. So let's get some silver paint out. Necrons! Hello Thordalim. I expect the Silent King to be mighty. Make sure the metallics are all mixed up. Small brush. Where are we? Oh, yeah. I've got a sneaky suspicion that I am not going to finish this by the time I have to leave to pick a Necron girl up from school. I have to leave here at 10 to 3. That's the original. What's something that takes up way too much of your time? Driving the school run at the moment. So like today, on my day off, I'm going to be driving 2 hours, an hour in the morning, hour in the afternoon to do the school run, which is quite a lot of time. Right, those are silvered in. Now to do the black. Hey there, beautiful people. Hello, Mr. Mythos. How you doing? Frost and Frists. Congratulations on reaching 1,000 subscribers. And thanks to everyone who's in the stream who went over to his channel and subscribed. to help him get there. Okay, this shouldn't be too bad, this one. We've got this very small section there. I'm going to do that last. Let's get the bigger sections done. I'm just going to check the original. I did paint those like a silver. I know, I think that's just from the dry brush highlight. I'm going to go in black. You won't even see these guns anyway because they're going to be underneath the vehicle. Thank you so much to you all to help me along the way to get through the years. You're welcome. It's been so good to see you guys grow from that very first video that you uploaded. It's been a cool journey, fun journey. Right, these aren't quite as bad as the Tesla guns, not so much to do on them. Right, we'll have a look at another question in a minute. I can feel that the paint is starting to dry out quite a lot. It's just so hot. Even though I've got this wet palette, it's just really hot. Give it a bit of a boost of water. I like the newest gas figure at least, but didn't assemble it yet. I'm scared because I've also played Orcs and Gaskell sucks and is MF Gaskell. I agree, he's less tough than a regular unnamed Cusco's Terminator. He's been dropped so far. Gas has been up and down quite a bit. I mean, he was awesome at one point in 5th edition, I think it was. He was almost unkillable in 5th edition. And then he went downhill quite a bit. And then obviously they put out that new sculpt and gave him some really good stats. Now they probably just... we don't really need to sell that sculpt anymore. Let's make him bad again. Right, I'm going to do the fine detail, so I will definitely need to concentrate on this. The Khan class tomb ship would be an awesome addition to the faction. Same size as the Tau Manta. What is your opinion, Nick and chat? I think it would be awesome. Tau Manta is obviously, that's Forge World, right? If GW themselves could do something like that, as a big tomb ship, that would be really cool. I'm not sure about the Forge World route, especially what's happened recently with all the Forge World stuff. This is so delicate, just painting along the edge where the green rod is. Trying not to get it on the green. So I'm going to pop to the shops after I pick Necron get up from school, get some flowers for my fiancée, put them on the table so they're when she comes in. One side done. Well, that'd be Forge World, right, I'd guess. Yeah. I'm in the design team at Games Workshop. Obviously we know that they're well ahead of what we can actually see. It must be a weird experience to be working on things, but stuff you worked on 2 years ago or whatever is like just being released now. Obviously it's not just GW that work like that, it's all manufacturers are going to basically be like that. You've got the the R&D section, haven't you? Okay, done. Let's get this other one done. Just need to go over the black again a little bit. That's the trouble, when I watered it down a bit, it's quite watery now, it doesn't cover so well. Or maybe I just missed this bit, I'm not sure. I'm going to leave the white masks to last. What would you like Games Workshop to make out of plastic from Forge World? I think the Acanthrites, the Tomb Sentinel and Tomb Stalker for sure. The Tesseract Arc, all of it basically. Probably not the Seraptic, because I've got Seraptic. Maybe a smaller version of the Seraptic. That could be cool, like a small plastic version. Didn't Forge World at one point have a Necron character, right? They had two, right? I think, if I remember rightly. Toe Hulk, wasn't it, I think? I'm going to have to go back to that one that I just put in the box saying it was done, because it didn't come in at this angle. One side. So a question. What's the longest amount of time you've done without sleeping? I think it would be the day that I went to bed at 5 o'clock and got up at 7 o'clock and then went to work. But yeah, usually I'm a 6 hour guy usually, like 6 hours normally does me. Last night I think I got about 5.5 hours, so not optimum. Hopefully when I get the new glasses it's going to be a bit easier to paint as well, because my close focus has got worse. And judging from the detail on those Tyranids, I'm going to need that close focus. Right, last bit on this gun, go back to the other one, and then that's those two, black tin. Right, that's that one. Go back to the other one. So I didn't do it at the angle. Next question is, what's the best beauty advice you've ever heard? My best beauty advice I've ever heard? I'm not sure. What I can tell you is I usually get complimented on how young I look, and a lot of people have asked me, what do you use? You know, do you use anything? And my secret tip to you looking young is I'll wash my face with water. No products, no soap, just literally water. The big canoptic worm thingy, yeah, that's it. So I call it the Ceraptic, but its proper name is the heavy Ceraptic, I think it's called, the canoptic heavy Ceraptic, something like that. Right, now we're going to go back to these, and I need to do the edging where the green rod is, effectively. Okay. Let's do the edging. This is where I don't want to make a mistake, because going back over black with that green again, it's going to be hard work. Try to be as careful as I can. Holding my breath and everything. And guinea pig is chirping. Hello Gizmo. How are you? One of my jobs before tomorrow is to clean out his cage. Last side. one done. Next question. What's the best gift you've ever received? Wow. I would say it would be the huge hobby box that a anonymous subscriber sent to me. I mean, it was absolutely massive. It was massive. Well, I've received two actually. The one I was talking about was the Necron one, but also I received one with the other armies in as well from another subscriber. I had like a load of Aldar stuff in there as well. There's so many sort of very generous people out there. When I was a kid, I would say I got a snooker table one year. That was an awesome present, and my mum and dad bought it via a catalogue, so they had it before Christmas. Obviously I knew I was getting it because I asked for it. I had it before Christmas, they did, and my mum used to go to bingo every Friday night, and my dad used to let me set up the table. I used to play a game on it in the living room, and then we'd quickly pack it all back up again, put it upstairs just before my mum got home from bingo. He used to beat me back then. It shows you how bad I was when I first started playing, because he was really bad as well. Right. Just that little bit there, and this gun is done. Don't mess it up on the last bit, Nick. Done. Alright, so now we've got the big guns to do. These are the ones which I blended last night, and this is what we need them to look like. So I've blacked in that section there. Oh, those have got to be silver at the front. Didn't realise that, so I need to paint that silver because I've not done that. So let's get some silver paint. Best beauty advice, Manscaped. Just want to say I love your channel. Thank you, Tyrant. You are my go-to Necron guy. Happy gaming. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate that. And now you win tournaments. I do. I won my own tournament, which is slightly embarrassing. I don't need that out because I've got it already on the palette. Yeah, I won my own tournament. I'm thinking, because the first year I came second, the second year I won it, and I'm thinking this year I definitely don't want to win it again. I mean, winning my own tournament 2 years in a row, that's not right, is it? So I'm thinking I will take a really silly list that I'm definitely not going to win with, but just have some fun. I've thought about dropping out of the event, you know, so that I just basically just like an organizer. But no, because you know the whole idea of the event is it's not really about winning, and you know it's about meeting people and playing some fun games. So I'm definitely going to play, but yeah, I might just play a silly list. I'm just sort of dry brushing these on a bit. Are there any totally wacky food combos you love the most people think are weird? I've had some normal stuff that people think are weird. Yeah, I am a bit of a mixed match. I'm quite happy to eat anything with anything. But any weird combos? I don't think so. I don't think so. Like when I have super noodles, sometimes I'll put cheese in it. Don't know if that's weird or not. It can't be, because I got the idea from super noodles themselves. It was on the inside of the packet, like, spice up your noodles, add cheese. I thought, okay then, I added cheese. And that's it. I always have cheese now on my noodles. Well, those type of noodles, not necessarily like Asian type noodles, but yeah, the super noodles. Right. So I'm going to add some black paint here, because that black paint is a bit watery, stroke, not much left. So let's get some new black paint. How do you feel about Necrons in 10th edition? Not too worried? No, never worried, because it doesn't matter what the rules are. Good, bad, indifferent, it will honestly make no difference to me. I will just pick up the rules and, you know, work out what units I want to play and just play the game. Honestly, it makes no difference to me. Yeah, I'm not worried at all. You know, good or bad, I will still be playing them. So. Right, I think I might need a slightly bigger brush here. Let's move up. I've got a size 2, that might be too big, but we'll see. I've got this big area here to paint. Let's at least use this for the base coat as such. Now make sure I paint the right thing, because it's all the way round. Okay. I didn't realise that this was black when I dry brushed this whole area. So now I've got to paint it in black. This is definitely the biggest task out of the painting the black sections. Cheese in ramen noodles is very common in places like Korea. Oh, there you go. Okay. No matter where they are in the meta, Nick usually finds a way to make them pretty good. Thank you, Mythos. I try my best. There's always some sort of combo that you can use, but sometimes if an army's not that great, what it usually means is you don't have many build options to make them good. So, you know, you end up with like similar lists. So we will have to go back in, I think, with a smaller brush in a minute, but at least I can get the bulk of it done with this big brush. Making sure that I don't mess up any of the green that I've already done. Tyranid coin for pre-ordering from the Games Workshop store. It's a pretty cool coin. So another question. Have you ever broken a bone? I have. I've broken my wrist on my left arm when I was young. The official reason is I slipped on the climbing frame in the park and fell over. That's not the truth though. The truth is a hidden secret that only a few people know about, which I might share with you guys because I'm old enough now to admit it. Yeah, I was a total idiot basically. So this climbing frame, we were jumping off the climbing frame. Not only just jumping off the side of the climbing frame, but we were jumping off the back of the climbing frame over the side and down. And there were some other kids there, older kids, who said, "I bet you can't do that and spin round at the same time." And I thought, yeah, I can. So I did. And I landed on my wrist like that, so it broke there and my hand was like up here like this. So yeah, that's the truth of what happened, but my dad definitely does not know this, and he's dead now, so God rest his soul and all that. He's never going to find out, but my mum doesn't know this, so unless she's watching this live stream, she's never going to find out, because I am embarrassed about it, because what a stupid thing to do. I can't believe I did it. But boys being boys, I suppose. But yeah, the official thing is I fell off the climbing frame. I'm currently batch painting a friend's Gene Stealer Cult Army. Man, it's getting tiring. I've got this stupid love heart right in the way. I hate this thing. I can't read anything. Maybe I'll try it in the studio. No, the studio's got it as well, but it's not covering the text at least. It's getting tiring. Haha. Yeah, I could imagine. I can imagine. You definitely have to be committed, don't you, to this hobby if you want to do painting. I mean, even like basic painting stuff, like, you know, with Richard, all he does is uses that contrast paint. But even that's, you know, quite a big commitment. I mean, yeah, he can get it done much quicker. I mean, he's painted like a whole army in about 2 weeks. But he still had to put all that effort in. Right, let's keep going. This is the biggest task left, I think, now, once this black's done. Just a case of just keep going. That's all it is. it's good to have like a deadline. It's got to be a doable deadline. An impossible deadline, you know, that won't do you any good at all, but a doable deadline. Right, just have a quick look, make sure I know what I'm doing. Yeah, put that back because I don't want to get it muddled up. Depal Hawk even. How you doing? It's been a long time indeed. And my wolf brother, how's things? Oh! I'm not a fan of this view that I'm on though, even though I can't read your comments on the other one. I am going to go back to that one. Right, next question. Do you think there's life on other planets? Probably not. I think that we were a freak accident, let's say, and never meant to be, and probably will never be again. But who knows? Who knows? It's hard to believe in something when there's no proof, I suppose. Just touching up the black on the sides of this gun now. I'm going to do all of the black area and then go in the very tricky bits along those like green rod sections. I am going to need 2 coats on that big area though with this paint. I don't have my fan on at the moment, but I might need to put it on. It's definitely warming up. And it will do in this apartment, because in the morning there's no sun coming in. In the afternoon the sun really comes in. Just heard a buzzing sound. That better not be a bee or a wasp. Right, now the inside of those bars going down there. We'll just do this section and I'll hop on to another question. Does anybody know what the Warhammer community post is going to be about today? Let's do the inside of this one, so I forgot to do that. The universe is a big place, who knows? Maybe something resembling NIDS might be out there. I think Gaz should be fine. Throw in a mob of mega knobs or knobs and it's lots of bodies before. It would depend on points, yeah, of course. I agree, it's an unknown large universe, so maybe a few freak accidents happen similar to Earth. Quite possibly. Imperium is up next. Oh, okay. Sisters, Guard, Custodes, right. And then it's going to be the Order Xenos, yeah? So I assume it's going to be like Tau, Necrons. Who else is left? Who else would be left? Dark Eldar? Or they Eldar, Dark Eldar, have they had theirs? Can't remember. So many releases, it's hard to keep up, isn't it? Okay, that's the inside of that dump. Orcs. Orcs, yes, of course. What's your favourite fashion trend right now? Right now? Me, I'm 51. Do I know anything about fashion? So my daughter's always wearing combat trousers, which I like, because I like to have lots of pockets so that I've got places to put stuff, my keys, my phone, you know, all the stuff that I like to have in my pockets. So yeah, combat trousers. If you had a superpower, what would it be? I think going fast, so like Flash, maybe. Teleportation even. Because I'm always in a hurry, it seems, and if I can reduce time where I have to go from one place to another, then that would be really useful. So I'm just painting the second coat now on these big pieces at the back. Gonna have to definitely go in with a small brush at the end just to finish a few bits up, but it's starting to take shape. Sometimes you have to let the paint dry before you can see actually what it looks like, especially if you've got watered down paint. It looks really good when you put it on, and when it dries it's, oh yeah, I definitely need another layer of that. One. Combat trousers. I'll be fine like the movie Jumper. Oh yeah, he and Richard are still friends. You can catch up with him in the unification group. Oh hey Nick, do you still catch up with Captain Morgan? I'm hosting an Orc event in July at Element Games Stockport, coming from Australia for a wedding. Oh cool, yes, yeah, I'm in touch with him. He's my main gaming buddy, and we usually chat, well, pretty much every day at the moment with all the releases coming. So yeah, he might well be up for that. Stockport, yeah, that's near Liverpool, right? I'm pretty sure Stockport is near Liverpool, which would mean that it's the place that I went to play my very first tournament at Wargames. My very first game, can you believe this? My very first game in my very first tournament was, oh wait there, no, it wasn't my first tournament, it was my second. But anyway, my very first game in that tournament at Stockport, which I believe is where it was against Lawrence from Tabletop Tactics with his Dark Eldar. And I was looking really strong in that game, to the point that it definitely looked like I was going to win it. So I had so much confidence after the first turn. So I think he went first and then I went second, and it was all looking hunky-dory. I could look at the mission. I had a tactical plan of what I was going to do. I was playing MSU Necrons, and the plan was to get him into combat and hold him into combat so he couldn't shoot and all the rest of it. Bearing in mind it was the first time that I played against Dark Eldar. And then in turn 2 he said, right, I'm going to do hit and run on all of my units. So he had hit and run, which basically means you can fall back and shoot from assault. And I didn't know he had that, and it changed the game because I couldn't lock him in combat. So he had all his shooting, and he basically shot me off the table. If it wasn't for that one rule, I'm pretty certain that I would have actually won that game. But you know, that's one of those things. That's the good thing about tournament play and playing against different armies, is you get to learn new army rules, you know, and all that experience adds up and makes you just generally a better player, because you learn how to handle it. So the next time I played against Dark Eldar, or you know, I would then know about that rule. Going to do one more coat on here with this big brush, and then it will be time to get the small brush out. Right, one more coat on there when that's dry, and then small brush. We have some comments. How do you feel about the 10th edition characters and the precision keyword versus 9th edition? Lookout, sir. I'm a bit worried Crons will be built around characters that might be the first to die every game. It is a concern because we know that our units will be wiped out and make our characters vulnerable. So I think it's going to be a choice between investing in characters or not investing in characters. I never really play that many characters when I play anyway. I'm not the type of person that has like 3 or 4 characters generally. Usually, like, if I can get away with one character, I will in a list. Points wise, that's one reason, but also sometimes you get locked into playing those characters. So if we end up having like 4 characters to lead all different units, then yeah, it's going to make those units better, but it's also going to make you more vulnerable. So maybe it might be better to play with no characters, or you know, just like the minimum amount of characters. We'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. Okay, I don't think I need a second coat, a third coat on that one, or fourth coat, whatever coat it is. We are going to go to the small brush and we're going to touch them up. Hey. so well, it's been an expensive month this month with the glasses and the birthdays. June is my worst month. The fact that I had my glasses, my optician appointment in June as well. Why did I book it in June for? What an idiot. Going around the wires. And the top piece. Okay, and then the back piece. And then that will only have the front section to do. It's getting warm now. It's getting very warm. I think I'm going to put the fan on in a minute. That side, this side. Okay, so just the front to do on that one. Do the back of this one, but first I'm going to put the fan on. Seeing a few faction previews like Deathwatch, it looks like some armies will be able to get position en masse. Feels like characters will be harder to protect than before. Quite possibly, but the good thing about our characters, if they are attached to the unit and they're taken out, is when we do our RP, the RP would bring back the character first. Or you can choose to bring back the character first. So that is at least something. Well, I'm off to work. Okay, Mythos, thanks so much for popping in. Yeah, it's been great to have you here. Big love and have a great rest of your stream. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate it. Right, let's do the back of this one. Or was it this one I'm on? No, this one. Right, let's have another question, shall we? What is the first thing you noticed about a person when you meet them? Usually their smile, I would say. It's a good indication of somebody's mood as well, you know. Yeah, usually their smile or, you know, their eyes. Usual stuff, really. To the top. feeling like I'm making really good progress now on this blacking in. On this side, and we'll have a look at another question. Hopefully you're enjoying the questions. A little bit different than normal. And as you can tell by the broken arm question, quite revealing. Right, so that's, I've got 29 plus in my apartment. It is incredibly warm. How old do you think you'll live to be? When I was young, I always thought to myself, I'm going to live to about 1942. Not 1942, I'll be dead already. 2042. Which would make me 70. I just picked that. I thought, oh, no, I'm talking about when I was like 18. I thought, oh, I'm probably going to live to about 70, so I'm probably going to die about 1942. Who knows? Who knows how long we've got in this life. Right, we are ready for these very small fiddly bits right the way along here. I'm going to move to the smaller brush. That one. Okay, here we go. Get these done and can move on to the next colour. Very important I don't go onto the green. It's not just a quick touch up, it's like many layers to get it to the green that I've got there. So I'm painting into the corners where the green and black meet. Itchy nose. My optician was telling me about something that his daughter did during lockdown. So from the very first day, she set up like a little video studio in the shed, and she got her family one at a time to go in and record like a 5-minute video on like their day and how they're feeling and everything. And then she took clips from newspaper, you know, the news basically, and she edited it all together. So she's got this like catalogue of the family's like experience with all the day-by-day news that was coming out, and it's all catalogued there, which I thought was like, that's a really cool thing. So in the future, you know, they can tell the kids like we were in lockdown. Oh, what was that? And they can say, well, look, here we go. Watch this. This is what it was like. I have gone on to the green, but it's only very slightly. So I think I might get away with just a tiny touch up. Yeah. No one will ever know. Right, now the other side. How do you think the Nightbringer will be in 10th edition? He was powerhouse in 9th for me. It's so difficult to say, and it's almost a little bit surprising that they made the Nightbringer like the best Catan effectively. I mean, the Void Dragon was pretty good, wasn't he, if you were against vehicles, but the Nightbringer was the best. Which is surprising considering that the Void Dragon had a new miniature. It is hard to say, but potentially, yeah, it might still be good. I mean, it is the Nightbringer. He's always been the #1 Catan. With the Deceiver, obviously, generally was second. Now I need some of this Dark Angels, not Dark Angels is the old name, Calibite Green, just in that groove there. Gonna need some proper paint. Okay, it's better. So another question. What's your favourite thing to do when bored? I'm very rarely bored. I'm usually bored if there's something I want to do that I can't, and that's frustrating. But yeah, my favourite thing to do would usually just be hobby or making videos or watching movies or a series or something. I'm very rarely bored, even when I'm like, by myself. Just I can entertain myself so easily. I've got so much stuff that I could do. I do rarely say I'm bored. Okay, that's looking sweet. Just going to touch up around there. Okay, and then lastly, we go back in with this green just on the bottom there. I think that's just where I've been putting it down on the thing. Right, that's done. That's that one. Let's go to this one. A tiny little rest. Got 9 people watching, thank you very much. 1:30. What time did I start streaming? 11:30, right? Was it 11:30 or 12:30? 11:30. Wow, 2 hours already. 1:30, 2:30. My God, no, I'm not going to finish. There's not enough time. There may be another stream later today. I'll keep powering on because you never know. But I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm going to finish today, definitely, but I don't know that I'm going to finish in this particular stream, which would have been nice, but I can't see it happening. over this side. And this side. What's your biggest pet peeve? When people don't empty the bins and it's always left to me. This is something which happens to me the whole of my life. It doesn't matter where I've lived, what relationship, well, apart from maybe when I was at home. Not when I was at home, but whenever I've been in a relationship with someone or at work, no one ever seems to empty the bin apart from me, and it's always full. Not much black paint left on the palette. Usable anyway. Okay, I just got to go. Oh, silly thing. Just got to go into the groove with Caliban green, just one little area, and then that's that bit done. Just in there. Right. Well, hey. Done. That's that bit done. That bit is done. So that can go in there, that can go in there, and these are all dry, that's good. Right, so we need to do some dry brushing of the black. We need to paint these green. Let's paint these green then quick. So Caliban green, I'm going to paint the stones. I've got the gold to paint and the white to paint, but they're small areas. Oh, you never know actually. I might finish it. I might finish it. I've got newfound enthusiasm that I might finish this afternoon. Come on, Nick, you can do this. You can do this. I'm going to get messy though again with this green. So Caliban green all over. So this can be a bit of a loose like paint. It doesn't matter. Some of the recesses are black because it just adds a bit more depth to it. And I'm just going to literally paint the whole thing rather than painting one side and the other. So I am going to get messy. Once this colour's dry, then I can dry brush them with the highlights. Two highlights. And then we can move on to the gold. And then we can move on to the white. And dare I say, apart from dry brushing the black, which will take not very long at all, I think I'm getting there. That's weird, yeah. I went from I'm never going to finish this to yeah, I'm going to finish this, I think, quite easily. I think when you've got that high concentration stuff to do like that, blacking in around the green, it just feels like you're going to be there forever. when you're painting something like this, like really quick, just like splash it on. It just feels like you're going to go a lot faster. It's okay that I've got it all over my fingers and that it's inconsistent on the rocks, because like I said, that just gives them a bit more depth. Right, let them dry, and I'm going to go and wash my hands. I'm going to change the water here as well. So I'll see you in about 30 seconds. I'm back, and I'm harder than a heart attack. Right, drying, dry brush the black, paint the gold. What should I do first? I think I will do the dry brushing. Let's do the dry brushing. So we can take this out of the way because I don't need that for dry brushing. But we do need the paint. Dawnstone. I'm also going to need the gold in a minute as well, so let's get that out. And I will need the white, and that's not in here, so that will be a trip to a different case. Okay. Let's get a dry brush out. A bit. Here we go. Right. So on this occasion, I'm just going to dry brush on the pot. So let's just dry brush over here. So Dawnstone Grey. Just a nice light dry brush. All it does is just highlights those rocks. I might just put a bit on here, just makes it easier. Got to be careful not to do too of a heavy dry brush, because then you just get like a big brush mark on it. It's best just to build up the colour. And I was going for this dead tomb world, a bit like in the 3rd edition Necron Codex, where that's how they painted their board and their bases, and I really liked it, so that's what I've done. Dead tomb world, dead sand effectively. That's one. Feel free to ask any questions if you'd like to ask me something like hobby related or personal related, or if you'd just like to know a certain thought of mine, then yeah, let me know. Always open to ask questions, answer questions even. I can ask questions as well, but so let's have a look at a question while we're talking about them. Next. What's the most useful life hack you've learned from YouTube? Oh, interesting. A YouTube question. A life hack. You learn so much from YouTube, don't you, that it's hard to pinpoint like the most useful thing. I learned something which was a bit too late because I learned it after I needed it, but there was a tutorial on how to fold a suit, you know, to put in your suitcase. because last year we went to a wedding in Portugal, and yeah, I had to obviously put my suit in my case, and I did it, but it wasn't until after I did it that yeah, I found a video on how to fold a suit. Now a stone's just come off, so what I'm going to do is just black in that area where the stone came off, and then just dry brush straight over that, and it'll be fine. Right, there you go. So that's that. They are done. So now I'm going to dry brush the black. So we're going to use lead voucher for this, which is Iron Breaker. Where is it? Maybe I'll put it away. Well, it's time for me to go. See you. Nice stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate you popping in. Always good to see you. Okay, here we go. Lead voucher. Put some of this onto the. Try not to use that. There we go. Don't need a huge amount. Should be enough. So clean that brush off and we'll get another dry brush. Right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, oh, that's well splayed, that dry brush. I'm going to gently dry brush the black with this just to give it that extra like highlight. So there's no black on there. There's not much actually, it's basically the guns. Yeah, that's all there is. So pretty quick and simple this should be. Just a little dry brush. Just to add a few little highlights to it. But not too much. I don't want it to look like metal, especially after I've just gone in with the black paint. So a little dry brush here and there. Bit of battle damage. Bit of wear on the black. But definitely black. Okay, that's one. And this one. Coming along nicely now. That one. And then we've got the Tesla. Going to dry brush that little sticky out bit there a little bit. One. Two. And the Gauss. Yep. Just dry brush those little sticky out bits, because I've noticed that's what I've done on my original. Okay, that's them done. One there, one there, one there, one there. Black dry brushed. Right, I'm going to dry brush these stones and glue them onto the bases, and then all I've got to do is gold and white. Come on! Right, we need another dry brush. Which one? Which one? This one here. We haven't used this one yet. Don't need this. And we're going to use the paint that we had on the palette from yesterday, because why not? Still okay. So first, warpstone glow. Let's have a question while we're doing this. Which of your friends influences you the most? You're not going to know them, are you? So probably my work colleague, who is also one of my best friends. He's very knowledgeable, and he's helped me out with loads of stuff, including some of the YouTube stuff as well. He actually designed my IDICBeer logo, you know, the circle with the IDIC logo and IDIC symbol. He designed that for me. So this highlight isn't that bright, just hitting the edges. The next highlight would be just like a really light highlight of the mute green. Another question. How many kids do you want? How many do I want? I'm 51 and I do not want any more kids. I've got 3 at the moment. I've got 3. Yeah, so we've got what, a 22-year-old, my eldest daughter, and then we've got my son, he's going to be 21 later this year, and then my youngest daughter, Necron girl, she is going to be 15 at the end of this month. And yeah, that'll do me, thanks. How many kids do you want? What a stupid question. Do you follow any pets on Instagram? Do I follow pets on Instagram? No, I didn't even know pets had accounts on Instagram. Is that a thing? Do any of you guys follow a pet on Instagram? At least they're quite modern questions, aren't they? At least there's some like current topics in there, you know, we're talking about YouTube and Instagram and stuff, so at least I haven't found a list of questions which is like 30 years old. Okay, that's that coat done. I'm going to swiftly move on to the next coat, which is that mute green. And I'm going to use the magnifying glass for this one just to make sure I don't go too heavy with it. Just a very light coat just to hit the edges. Get these glued on and then paint the gold. Change the water, fresh water, and then paint the white. What time is it? It is 5 to 2. It's looking promising. It's a really good feeling when you finish a project though, isn't it? You spend X amount of hours. I mean, this particular project I've totally painted whilst live streaming, so I know exactly how many hours it's taken me. It's probably taken me slightly longer because I've been like stopping and talking, and sometimes when you talk you're not concentrating so much, so you go slower, but it's a good indication. Okay, these are painted. Now I'm going to glue them onto the bases. A quick drink. Thank you very much. Yep, see you later. Right, here we go. So I'm going to glue them on. There's 3 on each one, but I'm going to glue them onto, rather than like all over the place, they're going to go on one side of the base. The reason for that, A, it gives me like a cluster, but also the way I store my bases, they're usually slotted down the side, so you can imagine like say a foam, and then I have them slotted down the sides of the foam like this, so all the basing material can be at the top, and then I've still got like a flat base, whereas if I've got a stone there, I've got to like squeeze the stone in. So that's the idea, the logic behind what I'm going to do. And I'm not sure which one of these is my new glue. Oh well, we'll find out. There's a lot of shaking usually involved to get this glue out though. I'm using the gel super glue. Bear with me while I shake vigorously. Right. This is going to come out, this one. I might have even picked up the one that's not working very well. I've got a funny feeling it's the other one, the one with the label on. Once you get it started, it's fine. It's just getting it started. Now here we go, right, got some glue coming out. I've pre-selected stones, these are just from the garden, not my garden because we've got a balcony, but I've pre-selected the stones so that they're like fairly flat on one side. Now sometimes you might end up with like little burn marks from the super glue, like little white marks, so you might just have to touch it up very slightly after it's dried. It's no biggie. dry. And then this one. Obviously I've clipped the little section off the top which usually breaks, and I've drilled out a bigger hole on the actual model so that the base goes inside the model, so there's no danger of anything breaking. Trying to work out which way that way. And the last one. There we go. Right, they're on. Bar having to touch up anything, if that glue does go white, then they're done. And to be fair, the best way to stop them going white is to have them very well ventilated. And that's why I'm going to quickly take these outside. So, bear with me a second, we'll have a trip outside. I might try and get the white paint when I'm here. Where is it? Where's my white? Here we go. White paint. Right, next is gold, and the actual miniature, the only gold I've got is that little section there, and that's that, and then on the actual barge itself, the command barge thing, so that's it, just two pieces. So let's get the gold out. We are using Henna's gold, which is a very red gold, the closest to shining gold that I've got, but it's not actually that close. But it's okay. GW changing their colours. I understand why. Wanted their own unique colour range. I think that basically they make it themselves, don't they? Whereas the old colour range, I think, was made by someone else, and then there were like other companies making them. So it was something like that, and it was all political. Right, put a piece here. We're not going to need that much. We are going to need a touch of water. Right there, I've got to just take this message from work. Right, here we go then. What brush? I think we will use this one. So we need the command deck, and a command deck, and we need the two little bits coming out of his head, which is not there because they're loose. Not that guy. That guy. That guy there. bit random just to paint that one little bolt out of his head with this colour, but obviously that's what I've done in the old days, so I'll stick with it. So that's him. I didn't even paint any of the buttons gold. No. I might paint one or two buttons gold, even go back to the original ones and paint that. But let's get the stuff I need to paint first. This will probably take a couple of layers. Painting around the Necron symbol. Trying to copy it to what I did originally. So another question. What are some goals you'd like to accomplish by the time you're 50? It's a bit late for that, isn't it? I'm 51. If you had to pick 3 words to describe yourself, what would they be? Motivated, shy, and thoughtful. Yeah, motivated, shy, and thoughtful. It looks the same. It does, apart from that little piece there. I've just gone over a piece which I thought was going to be gold but isn't, so I'm going to have to just correct that. So I can do that easily enough. Just use this silver up here. Just paint it back silver. There you go. What's your favourite cake and icing flavour combo? I do find icing quite sickly, so I'm not a huge icing fan. I like the butter, icing butter. So yeah, like on a butterfly cake. That's nice. This is my kit bashed command barge deck, which you will be seeing a video on very shortly because I had one missing. So just working out how I was going to paint it. I did sort of bear in mind how I was going to paint it when I was kit bashing it, and I'm pleased to say it's looking half decent, so that's good. Okay, so we're up for a second coat now. If a genie gave you 3 wishes, what would you ask for? I would ask for health. I would ask for money, and I would ask for what would I ask for? It's always a tough one, isn't it? You probably aren't allowed to ask for money, are you? But there's no rule on there. As Prince would say, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it can sure help the journey to happiness. Right, only 2 layers needed of this gold. It's pretty solid once it's got 2 layers on. And when I painted my ghost arcs, I did give the driver's dashboard some gold buttons, which I hadn't painted originally, and I think I'm going to do the same here. So let's do that. Let's do it. Let's go to this dashboard. This is my original model, and just paint some gold buttons. I think it would just add a little bit more depth to it. So one there, and that one there, and that one there, that one there. Just a couple of buttons on each one. Just to give it that little extra dimension. So let's do the same on this one. So ideally they need to be the same buttons, right? Because that's how fussy I am. Now, however, I can't get to that button because his hand's in the way. So Oh Nick, let's do it. Let's not do the same buttons and be really regimental like I normally am. I'm randomly just going to select any of these little buttons and just paint them gold. So the dashboards will be different on each one. That is not like me. Okay, so that's the two originals. So now we're going to do it on the two new ones. That one, and that one, that one, and that one. Very random. Very random. And then on this dashboard, where are you? There we go. One. And that one. And that one. And that one. Okay, let them dry a second. I'll do a second coat on the buttons. And then we are ready. Just the whites left. Oh wow, I've got my hobby hero. I have Fritz messaging me. I sent him a message asking if he would share a charity raffle for me a while ago, and it looks like he's replied. He has shared it for me, which is awesome. Fritz was the person who really taught me about community as well on YouTube, because I emailed him. It's a random email after watching a few of his videos, and he replied, and I was so like happy and impressed, and that was an amazing thing, because I was no one, just someone, just random person watching him, and that's what inspired me to answer all of my comments, to answer all of my messages, because I know just that little message back, that little comment back, it can mean quite a lot to people, you know. It meant a lot to me. Right, okay, let's get going. Second coat, just to finish this gold off, which, to be fair, it probably doesn't need much at all. And the last one. Like so. Right. I am going to change my water because I'm painting white next and I need a really nice, like, fresh water. So yeah, give me about 20 seconds. I'm back and I'm harder than a heart attack. Okay, so let's have a look at an original. Just the mask on this guy to paint. So let's do it. We will need the 000 brush for this because it's a very small mask. Let's get a question going. Which old school Disney movie is your favourite? I liked, well, I don't know how old school it is, but I like Brother Bear. I need some paint. Can't paint without paint. Yeah, Brother Bear. I really liked that. Go away. I thought Hercules was quite good as well. I always remember Bambi from when I was a kid. Bambi was the first film that I saw in the cinema. What is that? Instagram. I'm being messaged by Shed Gaming because we are planning on meeting up in the summer for a bat rep, which would be really cool. Right, here we go. Going to paint his mask. I'm going to need probably a few coats of this white just to build up the colour. I'm not sure if he's the driver or the gunner. I think the one with the mask on is the driver. I can't remember from the instruction book. First coat, let that dry, and the other one is actually in the vehicle, which could be more awkward. Not impossible, just more awkward. Good afternoon, late to the party, no problem Jonathan, nice to see you. Do you prefer Coke or Pepsi? I do prefer Coke, I'll be honest. I like cherry Coke, but I don't tend to drink too much. The only time really I drink is when I go to snooker, so at the snooker club I'll have a can. But obviously I appreciate how bad fizzy drink is for you, especially for your teeth. So I don't tend to drink it that much. First coat done, let it dry. I think Games Workshop puts up a community post, I think, because Richard's just messaged me about something. However, we're too engrossed in painting. We're too engrossed in painting, come on. Actually, I might put him on the blue tack, it might make it easier. I've got some A-case miniature holders that were sent to me. I haven't used them yet. I've had them a while, but I just haven't had, whatever I've painted has been just too big to go into one of those mini holders. But obviously when I do my Tesla Immortals, then I will be using them, so I'll review them. They haven't been sent to me for a review, but you know, that's not been asked. Maybe it was hoped but not asked. But I'm always trying to be honest in my review, so you know, it will be what it will be. Where these are very small pieces of white, I don't think it's going to take the usual like 6-7 coats. Might only take a few because it's looking pretty good already, and that's only 2 coats. So as I mentioned earlier, that Fritz is going to, well, he has already apparently shared my charity raffle. So if you don't know who Fritz is, his current channel name is Wargamer Fritz. Check him out for sure, great guy. And he's just shared it on his community tab. So if you're not aware, I am doing a raffle for charity. There's a link to it in the description below. Trying to raise money for Mind. And the prize is a Triarch Stalker and 3 Wraiths painted by Siege Studios to a very high standard. Okay, one more coat and that might be it. I just got my Primaris Tech Marine and Primaris Chaplain yesterday. I'm planning to paint them up tomorrow. Awesome! What colours are you going to do them in? Go back to this one. I'll be honest with you, that's looking pretty good. Maybe this will be the last coat. This is small, even with the magnifying glass. My new glasses I'm going to be picking up in a couple of weeks' time. They're going to be slightly better on the close focus because my eyes are slightly worse than they were 2 years ago. So hopefully that will help my painting as well. Okay, I think I can safely say we're finished. I do have to glue some of it together, but I've finished. Oh no, hold on, take it back. I take it back. I need to paint the rim of those bases. Let's get the bases back. Okay, we've got no whiting there, which is good. So yeah, I need to just paint the rim of the bases. Where I dry brushed it, it can get a bit messy, so just want to finish it off. If I've got any black paint, I haven't, it's all dry. Dark Angels, okay, that'd be cool. I'm just going to go straight from the pot. I wouldn't normally for rims, but this is very small rim. It makes such a big difference as well. Not so much on these small flying bases, but it does make a difference on the flying bases. But on normal, normal rim bases, if you paint the rims, it just finishes the model off. Arguably, this is my favourite piece to paint because I always paint them last. So I know when I'm painting this, I've basically finished. And what I forgot to do is pick the starting point. Ah, there it is, I can see it. I can see it. One. Right, I'm going to start with that rockers. It's exciting, nearly finished, exciting. Now I can have a break from hobby. I can concentrate on making videos when I get time to make videos on the index cards, etc. And then I will be ready. 10th edition. I've got a stone. Oh, that's annoying. I've got a stone which has come off. So let's just take it right off and just black it in. That'll be fine. There we go. You can't even tell. Yep, I can't even see where that stone came off. Right, now I'm done. Woohoo! All I've got to do is glue it all together. What time is it? It's 2:30. 2:30. Right, let's get rid of this here. Put all this aside for a minute and see what we've got to glue. So we've got the fronts to glue. So that's the one there. It's got these front pieces to glue. And one of these was broken from the repair, so this one goes, yeah, this one goes on this side. So it's got to glue that onto there. Look at him, he's punching the canopy. He's angry. I had a missing arm, so I had to use a warrior arm holding the gun, and I reshaped the fist so that he was punching it. I'm going to try and use my plastic glue. Sometimes it dries up, doesn't it? Hopefully this one will come out okay. If not, I'm going to have to burn the stem, which would be annoying to do this now, but I might have no choice. Right, yeah, I've got no choice. Okay. Bear me a second, I've got to get my glue working. Alright, sorry about that, very inconvenient time. I am back, so I've put both ends under the flame. Hopefully now it might come out. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so get some glue here. Can't really see what I'm doing. It's coming, but it's there we go. Right, here we go. Right, first one. And this one. Put the lid on, make sure it doesn't dry out. Glue that one in. There. Okay. Now of course we need to glue the warriors in, and I've got this under section that needs to be glued on. I've got the warrior hands there. And there. That's that side, and then this side is just one arm to be glued on. So let's glue his arm on then, because it's just a single arm. And this is the one that's going to be there, like that. Always dry fit first. Looks like I missed all of the action. Yeah, I'm just gluing the final bits together now, trying to get these done before I have to leave to pick Necron got up from school. And we'll see if I can do it or not. Right, here we go. It's a bit finicky, but hopefully we can do it. Obviously I didn't glue any of these into place originally, so not actually matching up that well. Just have to hold it for a bit. Yeah, that'll do. That will do. Right, that's that. Let that one dry. Now we need to glue in these gun holders, which are of course magnetised. So this glues in like that, two little joins. struggling with this glue today. It must be the heat. Right, so at least we've got 2 locating pins on this one. So 2 locating pins. I left that off so that I could get into the underside of the belly to paint it a bit easier. But the guns themselves are magnetised. However, the one on this side, the locating pins have broken off because of the conversion that I had to do, or repair that I had to do. So I'm going to have to just work out where it's going to go. Having just done that one that is located okay, then this shouldn't be a problem. So that's a 10-minute warning. I've got 10 minutes before I have to leave to pick Necron Gut up from school. So it needs to be there, and it needs to be all a bit awkward. Let me have a look at that one. Like that, I think. Just give it a minute to start bonding. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, let's carefully let that one there dry. Try not angle it so that it doesn't like move too much. There we go. So just got these warriors now to glue in, and the truth is I don't want to rush them because they're going to be a bit tricky, but that's all I've got left to glue in now is the warriors. The rest of the bits and pieces are all magnetised, so I'm done. I have successfully painted my 2 Annihilation Barges only whilst live streaming, and it's been a lot of fun, so I hope you have enjoyed all the live streams. Thanks so much everyone for tuning in, I really appreciate it, and yeah, I will see you very soon. Cheerio!